Hello and welcome to a cold garden and the dinosaurs who live there. We've had our first snow today, so before I get on and talk about some bits and pieces in the garden, let's see what the chickens make of this snow. Come on then. I know it's snowing, but you need to come out to go to your own run. Come on. You coming? That's a no. Whoop. Right, you girls. There you go. Right, Dottie and Brenda, you've never seen snow before. Come on, let me see what you think. Oh, Em's made a dash for it. Come on, Hattie. It's Saturday the 2nd of December, and here in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, we have had our first little dusting of snow. It certainly has been very, very cold over the past few days, and that's going to continue. But I was a wee bit surprised to see a little bit of snow on the ground, and there's been a little bit of snow falling. Nothing tremendous, tremendously debilitating, if you like, but yeah, everything's frosted and now has its little icing sugar dusting of snow. I'm actually standing in the chicken run. The door's open, and if I turn around, you'll see the chickens are quite happy munching on vegetables and their feed, and they're really not interested in coming out at all. The door's open, but they're like, nope, we quite like our little hemp bedding on the floor to keep our tootsies warm. And we've got food and water here, so yeah, let's not bother. What I thought I'd do though is just show you a couple of things that have been changing in the garden. You still should be able to see it even with the snow on the ground. Because over the winter, weather permitting, there's a few things that I want to do to get ready for growing next year. Okay, so I'm going to go further up to the back of the garden. I'm going to be very careful not to slip. And this is where I've started making some changes. You'll see here I've got a mound. This is actually a new bed next to the swing seat. And really, I didn't dig. The ground was too hard anyway, but I put cardboard down and I mounded up compost. There's one new bag of compost on there, but the rest is just taken from other places in the garden and empty pots and so on. And I've actually packed this full of daffodils and tulips. I thought it'd be nice to have some spring colour up at this point in the garden, because this is the part of the garden that can be a bit dreich, a bit dull. Certainly in the springtime. And I've just put this wire edging around. It's not going to support the compost. There's actually some logs around as well. I've done this just because I didn't have any other edging materials, but the plan is to get some sort of edging that will keep the compost in when it thaws out and gets rained upon. But it's the sort of same technique I used down in the other part of the garden where I've got the sort of circular beds that I had flowers in, and I'll show you that again just to remind you. Here's the beds that I used earlier on this year, just concocted from some plastic coated wire, made into circles, popped in some cardboard and some compost, and they did really, really well growing flowers, and in fact one of them's got some beetroot in it. So yeah, very quick and simple to do. I've got a video actually about how I constructed these, so I'll put the link to that at the end of this video. But that's how I have constructed the new spring bulb bed up next to the swing seat. So yeah, so I've got this bed. It'll be bulbs in the spring, and then we'll put other flowers in here in the, you know, for summer and autumn. I've not decided what we'll put in here yet, but we will see. And the good thing about this is that it will gradually sink down, and that's fine. You know, we'll get the edging on, it will gradually sink down, and I can top it up as required with fresh compost. And the cardboard will eventually, that's the basis of this, will dissolve, the worms will take care of that, and then it'll become just an ordinary functioning bed. Now, I have done quite a lot of work behind the swing seat here. These two metal beds, for example, they used to be here. And I wanted to move them from there because my plan is to clear this a bit more and put some fruit trees there. So I've pulled the beds, or lifted them and popped them here. And these will be veg growing beds. And I've actually put some weed suppressant fabric down there, here under the swing seat, because I was getting quite a lot of growth of weeds and flowers that I didn't want underneath the swing seat earlier this year. So I've just got rid of what I could and then put the weed suppressant fabric down. I will put wood chip on that at some point. I've still got wood chip over the fence there. If you're wondering what that is, it's an upturned plant pot, because there's actually a tree stump there. I think it's an elder, and it keeps sprouting, and I haven't done anything to sort of kill the stump off. I'm a bit cautious about trying to kill the stump or putting something on there when I've got chickens kicking about. So for now I've just put that pot over it to hope that it stops anything growing, but we'll see. Any suggestions on what I can use to kill that stump without having to sort of drill it out? That is good for chickens, i.e. is not toxic to chickens, that would be great. Although I am quite happy just to leave that and let it rot down naturally. So yes, we've got the two beds here. I think they're 1 metre square. Got the weed suppressant fabric, which will obviously have some nice wood chip on, and I'll put weed suppressant fabric here, and then I'll put some weed suppressant fabric also. And then at the back here, this is not looking forward to this. This is coated in ivy, and it's got some cleavers that's all died back now. I can get the cleavers out fine, but the ivy is just a nightmare. So I'm just going to keep chipping away, chipping back, and I'll have to have a think about how I deal with that ivy. Can I put weed suppressant fabric on that? Might be worth a try, to try and kill it back a little bit anyway. But yeah, so get a nice area here, and my plan is to get 2 apple and 2 plum dwarf rootstock fruit trees here. I think that would be quite nice. Got a lot of cutting back here to do. The bees are all happily ensconced in their hive, hopefully. They've got plenty of honey, and they've also got fondant in there to munch on through the winter. I think I might also just take this away and expand the area here, put some more fabric, weed suppressant fabric down, just in case I get another hive, in case I split this one in 2 in the spring. We'll see. So looking down the garden, you can see the hills in the background, the partially cloaked in low cloud. There's not tons of snow up there yet. But it is a wintry scene.